All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever heard someone say that you can literally think your way to success? It's this idea called manifestation, the belief that you can attract whatever you want into your life just by focusing on it. I know. It sounds a little bit like magic, right? But stick with me, because we're going to look at how this actually plays out in the real world.
Okay, check out this story from Jim Carrey. It's pretty incredible. Way back when he was still a struggling actor, he did something kind of wild. He wrote himself a check for $10 million, put "for acting services rendered" in the memo line, and dated it for the future. He then kept that check in his wallet. And what happened? Almost to the day, he got the news he was being paid that exact amount for his role in Dumb and Dumber. Crazy, right?
So Jim Carrey's story is really the poster child for this whole idea. And at the heart of manifestation is a concept a lot of people call the law of attraction. So what is it really? Well, the core principle is super simple. Your thoughts create your reality. Whatever you focus on, you attract. As the saying goes, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. It's this idea that when you are absolutely clear on what you want, the universe kind of conspires to help you get it. This brings us to the sheer power of the mind. And look, this isn't just some fringe hopeful thinking. You have countless high achievers. We're talking top-tier athletes, wildly successful entrepreneurs. They all swear by this. And this quote just nails that feeling, doesn't it? It's a power so real that even people who use it all the time are kind of blown away by the results. They talk about how a thought, just a thought, held consistently over time, suddenly shows up in their physical world. It's almost spooky. But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? This is a huge one. There is a massive, and I mean massive, misconception about how manifestation actually works. Most people hear these amazing stories, and they totally miss the most important part of the whole equation. And boom, there it is. This quote cuts right through all the noise. See, the popular version of manifestation has turned into this passive, daydreamy fantasy, but that's not it at all. You can't just sit on your couch, picture $1 million, and then wander off to the kitchen for a sandwich, expecting it to just appear. So let's really break this down. On one side, you've got the myth. Just visualize that mansion, cross your fingers, and wait for the universe to deliver. But the reality? Oh, the reality is you have to work your ass off. It's not about wishing, it's about discipline. It's not about waiting for something to come to you. It's about taking relentless action. And yeah, it's about being willing to pay the price. And that's the real secret right there. It's not one or the other. It's both. The vision and the work are totally connected. Think of it like this. Visualization is the spark, but the hard work, that's the gasoline you pour on the fire. Okay, so if that's the case, how do we actually do this the right way? Well, it all starts with step one. You have to visualize the work. And this means totally rethinking what visualization even is. You know the classic vision board, right? The problem is, you're sitting in your tiny apartment staring at a picture of a giant mansion. And instead of feeling inspired, that massive gap between where you are and where you want to be can actually be super demotivating. It can just make you feel like you're failing before you even start. So here's the proper way to do it. 1. Yeah, of course, visualize the end goal. See it clearly. But then, step 2, you have to visualize the bridge that gets you there. You have to see the sweat, the struggle, the long nights. And then step 3, you visualize the hardship. You see yourself wanting to quit. You feel the frustration. And then you visualize yourself pushing through it anyway. You're literally preparing your mind for the fight ahead. Arnold is the perfect example of this. He wasn't just picturing himself holding a trophy. No way. He was visualizing the work itself. He saw every single painful rep with a 500-pound barbell not as a chore, but as a crucial step toward his goal. He actually fell in love with the grind because he knew what it was building. All right, so you're visualizing the work. What's next? Step 2, you have to build unshakable belief. Because vision is nothing without the mental fuel to actually go out and do the work. And that fuel is belief. Because let's be real, nobody else is going to believe in your crazy dream, at least not at first. You have to be your own biggest fan. You have to be the one person clapping in an empty room, cheering for yourself long before anyone else even shows up. The belief has to start inside you. So how do you build it? You literally program it into your brain. You repeat it to yourself over and over until it becomes your automatic thought. You basically have to brainwash yourself into believing. You say it out loud, I am rich and wealthy. I am going to the MBA. I am So you've got the vision, you've got the belief. Now comes the part that ties it all together, the final, non-negotiable step. Step 3, you have to pay the price. And who better to say it than Arnold again? He just lays it out there. There's no magic pill, no secret shortcut. You simply cannot get around the fact that you have to work and work and work. Period. The lessons from Navy SEAL training give us some amazing real-world examples of this mindset. It starts small. Make your bed every morning to start the day with a win. And you learn to accept that sometimes you're going to fail. You're going to end up as a sugar cookie, covered in sand from head to toe. You just got to get over it, rinse off, and get back in the fight.
And this idea of the circuses is so powerful. In SEAL training, when you fail a task, your punishment is 2 extra hours of brutal exercise designed to make you quit. But here's the thing. For the guys who make it through, that extra pain doesn't break them. It actually makes them stronger. And life is full of circuses. You can't be afraid of them.
Because ultimately, paying the price comes down to this simple truth. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. A winner is not someone who never falls. A winner is someone who just keeps getting up, again and again and again. So, we've covered the vision, the belief, and the brutal, necessary work. And all of this really leaves us with just one final question to ask ourselves. The speaker Jim Rohn used to put this challenge out there. If all these other people who started with nothing, who faced insane obstacles, could apply these principles and completely change their lives, then why not you? Seriously, what actually makes them different from you? And that, right there, is the thing to leave you with. Your biggest enemy isn't out there somewhere. It's not your boss, it's not the economy. The biggest obstacle is the doubt, the fear, and the procrastination that lives inside your own head. The real fight is against that thief in your mind that's trying to steal the future you promised yourself. And winning that fight, well, that's where it all begins.